Okay, guys, I'm sorry I got cut off, but I had to take a quick break there. So I'm sure you didn't mind the break. I know this video has been really long, so I really appreciate you hanging in there and listening the same way you would as if I were there. So, again, I always want to read back my writing and make sure it sounds good. Fat and soap are not the same substance because they have different solubilities. Fat is soluble in oil but not water, and soap is soluble in water but not oil. Solubility is a property of matter, and if fat and soap have unique properties, they cannot be the same type of matter. I think I'm actually going to add something here. I think I'm going to add a little bit from that scientific principle that we have at the beginning of or that we added yesterday, that properties are unique characteristics that help identify substances and tell substances apart, because I do feel like my writing is missing a little bit of something now that I kind of read it back to myself. So I'm going to add a part of that scientific principle. And so I'll get my green pen ready because this is still my reasoning. Let's see if I can get in here and edit. Okay. So this is because properties are unique. And I'm not going to say unique again. I'm just going to say characteristics because I already used unique. So I'm going to stay away from that. So this is because properties are characteristics of matter that can be used to tell substances apart. And then I'm actually going to restate my claim like we've been doing in the past, just to kind of make sure that I'm revisiting that claim and that my evidence and reasoning are tied to my main claim. So I'll use one of my favorite transition words, therefore. And I usually like to reword my claim, so I'm going to reword it a little bit. So therefore, fat and soap cannot be the same substance. Okay. So one more time, since I added, I'm going to read it back to myself and edit. Fat and soap are not the same substance because they have different solubilities. Fat is soluble in oil but not water, and soap is soluble in water but not oil. Solubility is a property of matter, and if fat and soap have unique properties, they cannot be the same type of matter. This is because properties are characteristics of matter that can be used to tell substances apart. Therefore, fat and soap cannot be the same substance. All right, so my reasoning and my claim are still a little clunky, but I'm getting the job done. As I work with this more and learn more about properties, I might work on shortening this up and kind of blending these two sentences together in a way that makes my writing a little smoother. But for now, I think this is excellent. It's definitely a 3 for claim, definitely a 3 for evidence, and definitely a 3 for reasoning. So if not more, if I received at this point in the quarter, since we just started working on this again, if I received this from a student, I would most likely give them 4s because this is excellent, especially working with what we have right now. This is a really good example. Later down the road, it would be mostly 3s and 4s because, I'm expecting your writing to grow as you do. But for now, this is a great example. So make sure you have this written on page 15. This is your sample. One other thing I would do is maybe turn the corner of your page down so that you can remember that this page is important and that's where you have a sample piece of writing. But for now, we're done with this. So what I'm going to have you guys do for the rest of class is, I know we had kind of a short amount of work time and you are mostly working on the worksheet when we on Thursday when we were filling in the worksheet. So you guys can actually go to Classroom and in this assignment in Classroom, the substance mixtures and compounds sheet, there are some cool resources that you might want to check out. One thing that is kind of fun is there are 2 different simulations where you can play with chemical reactions. So here, this Go React from the Museum of Science and Industry, they give you a copy of the periodic table, and you can kind of drag and drop and create some chemical reactions. They give you some tips for how to do that, but it's kind of cool. You can see, and they tell you what different things are used for and how different things are react. The other one I like is this Vet Reactants, Products, and Leftovers. This is great, but if you go to this one, one piece of advice I would give you, so you go to it and then you click play, and then don't click on sandwiches, because I don't really want you, I know it's cut off kind of the side of my screen because I'm a little zoomed in, but don't click on sandwiches, click on molecules. And then if you click on molecules, you can actually make molecules and see how they react. And then if you're still interested, you can go to the game. Start with level 1 because it is hard. We just are beginning this process, so it's a little tricky. But you can play the game, and they give you this is the chemical reaction here, and I have to try to build it. So I could try to build the reactants on this side of the reaction. So if you didn't have a chance to check this out on Thursday because you were too busy working on your worksheet, use the rest of class to kind of go back and have some free time, but only on this post. You may listen to music if it's okay with the guest teacher and as long as it's not a distraction. But check out some of these links that you may not have had a chance to look at the other day. All right, my phone's ringing, so have a wonderful day.